Hey there, welcome. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, the numbers for the Mega Millions are huge. Last I checked, $875 million. That's better than the Joe Biden estimate of what the Powerball's at.
These $1,400,600 billion.
Joining me now, Spencer McGown, certified financial planner and host of Net Worth Radio, comes on 7 a.m. Saturday morning on our sister station, KLIF, or people who like to sleep in on a Saturday, you can catch it 4 p.m. here on WBAP. Now, Spencer McGowan, I love talking about this because, who's going to win the lottery? Who's going to have to deal with the question, like, what should you do when you win the lottery? But listen, when we have this discussion, I want the guy listening to understand that anytime anybody comes into any lump sum of money, whether it's the lottery, whether you're a cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, you inherit 6 or 7 figures from some relative, 70% of people blow through lump sums in 5 years, no matter what the size is. If it's $500, $5 million, or $500 million, that's what the numbers are. And this is the kind of thing that you could help with, Spencer McGowan. What should the guy listening do if he wins the lottery?
Well, don't spend the $893 million. That's this afternoon's total, okay? Because the cash option's $421 million. After tax, you've got a measly $250 million.
Would you say, just Spencer, the first question, do you take the lump sum or do you take the annuity?
Well, I think most people would be better off just to take the annuity. And I have a story about that.
Please, go ahead.
Okay. So I get a call from a client. This was back 2008. He said, "You won't believe it, my son won the lottery." Well, after taxes and paying off his debt, he deposits $11.4 million. Are you with me?
11.4 is pretty good.
11.4. That's a pretty good lottery win. He's doing okay. So we set up the portfolio. I said, hey, you can spend, if you spend 30 grand a month, your portfolio can still grow. He said, wow, okay, that's the plan. Now you have to have a big house. That's $3.5 million. Then you got to have prestige nationwide. You got to get a big old $1 million happy bus to drive your family around in, okay?
Well, what's a prestige nationwide? Is that an RV or something?
Well, yes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Prestige nation. I just made it up. Prestige worldwide.
Okay.
Step Brothers. Anyway, so prestige nationwide was the happy bus. Then you got to kind of go bigger, and so he gets a private jet membership.
Shut up. He doesn't have that much money. $11 million is not private jet money.
Here's my point. Well, he didn't buy a private jet. He just got the membership. Now, that's much more frugal, James. So he's at least, thinking. But then why not buy a golf course in East Texas and a golf cart company to go with it? And then why not buy a brewery? Well, here's the story. We make him $4.5 million on top of the $11.5 million he deposits. He spent all $16 million in 12 years.
Okay, so what would you do if you were him instead? Obviously, not spend through all of it, but just set up a big
if I were him right now, I'd be working at Golden Corral. But anyway,
right.
Okay, I would get. Yes. Okay. So you're visualizing. Now don't go spending money thinking you've won it. You got to get a CPA. You need an advisor. And as an advisor, I learned to tell people not to do stupid stuff. Right. And so I should have just told him no on a few of these things, but he wasn't taking no for an answer. Anyway,
right. Spencer, let me hit my pause on my Spencer McGowan remote. We're going to get a news update, and we're going to continue with Spencer McGowan from Net Worth Radio, a financial advisor actually giving you some advice on what you should do if you win the lottery. But really, this is good advice on if you come into any lump sum, if you sell your business or inherit some money or who knows. We'll continue with that. Spencer McGowan coming up on The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. And remember, you can listen all week to the WBAP Morning Show for your chance to win tickets to see Meghan Trainor. I love her. She's going to be at the Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory on October 12th. Tickets on sale this Friday, 10 a.m. Ticketmaster.com. Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Continuing with Spencer McGowan from Net Worth Radio. You can hear it here on WBAP on the weekends. He's a certified financial planner. So when we have these issues like what happens if you win the lottery, this is fun to fantasize about, and I know you're not going to win the lottery, but this is financial advice that spreads across other situations that you might actually be in, and one day you might be in. You might have a job with the pension, and then they come in, they say, well, we're going to buy out your pension, and then you get a big lump sum of a few $100,000. How are you going to make that last? You might sell your business, and that's your entire retirement plan. Money you get from the business is pile of money. How do you make that last? How do the guys that, like Leighton Vander Esch, 28 years old, retiring from the Cowboys, he's made a few bucks. How does he make that last? It's all the same strategies. And so it's just a fun way to talk about that, the lottery. But this is not some fantasy. This is financial wisdom that you can apply to many situations. So let's continue with that, Spencer McGowan. You gave all the warnings. You gave the horrible story about the guy who actually won the lottery and blew through 16 million bucks. So what should I do? I win a whole bunch of money. Let's say I win $100 million. I come to Spencer McGowan. How would you structure this?
Well, how much does it cash flow, right? I told the guy with 11 million, I said, if you go spend 30 grand a month, you're never going to run out of money and it's going to grow, right? And so that was the cash flow that it could produce. So you spend less than the cash flow that comes in, even if you have a big pile, right? And certainly if you get a windfall, you can plan some special purchases. But what happens after that? And you can map that out pretty easily.
Yeah, so I've thought about that. You want to set up whatever your big pile of money is to just crank out a monthly check, and I would guess you would use an annuity for some of that or half of that, or I don't know really the details, but whatever financial tool you use, just going to kick you out a regular check. But you're right. Before that, I think there's two things that you need to take care of, and one is the big lump sum. If you're going to go out and you're going to buy a big fat house, or if you have some debts to wipe out, or you want to pay off your mortgage on your existing house, or depending on how big your pile is. But the other thing you probably need to take care of right off the top, right off the front, is charity. You're going to want to give a big lump sum to your church, or you have a cause that's near and dear to you, battered women's shelter, or you had a special needs kid and you want to donate to like the house that helped raise him, and get the big purchase and the charity out of the way first. Does that pass muster with a financial planner?
Yes, because you can plan the charity so that it gives you the maximum benefit, right? Because that's money that you basically just channeled, right, to a tax deduction. It offsets the income. And there are several ways to do that. But, it's exciting to do the lottery dance, but your odds of getting struck by lightning are substantially more. It's 1 in 500,000 to get struck by lightning, 1 in 300 million to win the lottery. So that's probably not a good way to seek a windfall, right?
What do I have to know about the taxes on that, Spencer McGowan?
40.8%. The top bracket's 37. Then you have the Affordable Care Act, another 3.8, for a total of 40.8. They make it more complicated so they can kind of hide how big the taxes really are.
Yes, they do. All right. Anything I haven't asked you about advice I need to know if I come into a big lump sum of money?
Well, part of it is quality of life, right? So I have this grocery store down at the Crescent. They have office supplies, and when I make a big purchase, they give me a lottery ticket. And occasionally I've been punching it in going, wow, what would I do? Because I like doing what I do, right? And so there's a quality of life issue where you can define what would I do when I don't have to, work the long work week. I think that's more important to prepare for the fact that, hey, eventually all of us want to have a surplus and we want to have meaningful things to do with our free time instead of, just pure indulgence.
Yeah, I think the indulgence thing would be fun for about a month, the traveling and whatnot. But I hate to say this, I would miss having a job. I would miss having some sort of purpose in life. But of course, if you fall into the winning lottery ticket this weekend or this week, call Spencer McGowan, Net Worth Radio. Thanks for being on the show again, Spencer.
Thank you, James. Appreciate the interview.
All right, 800-288-WBAP. If you got any smart comments or you want to tell me how you blew through the lottery. I've actually met one person that won the lottery. It was a friend of mine from Fort Worth. His aunt had won the lottery, and it was a true rags to riches story. She was in a trailer park. Her and her daughter lived together in a trailer park. She didn't win that much money after taxes. She took the lump sum. It was like $20-something million, but she split. She got a house in Hawaii, and she comes and visits every once in a while. She stays in the presidential suite at the Westin in the Galleria here in Dallas is last time I saw her. And I don't think she's run out of money. I think she might be one of the success stories. Al in Dallas, you're on the James Show. What do you think, sir?
Well, hey, James, really enjoy your show. And first, it's a criminal what they're doing to the president. But in playing, just suppose if I won $840 million on the lottery, here's what I would do with it. In my sales career, for a time when I had decent money, I funded a volleyball team in the Catholic grade school for 3 years. But what I would do if I had all that money, I would fund scholarships for every Catholic, disadvantaged Catholic grade school that I sub-teach at, and then more, the ones that I don't. For any child that wants to play a sport, they could play. I would underwrite that. The second thing I would do when I went to Jesuit, I would completely fund the scholarship in my parents' name. The third thing I would do, I would fund a scholarship at my college for baseball up in Sherman, Austin College. Baseball is a sub-tier sport up there, so I would fund a scholarship for one player, and then I would do the same for the volleyball because I really like their coach, and then I would give like $50,000 each to baseball and volleyball, and then the last thing I would do would probably donate a scoreboard in name of a coach that I didn't play for that recently died of myocarditis. Guess how that happened?
It just died suddenly, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, he did. And beloved by those that played for him.
Al, did you just call into the James Show to let the world know how magnanimous and generous you would be and how selfless and charitable you would be if you came into a lump sum of money?
It's my nature, James.
Well, you're a better person than me because I would be going for the megalomania route. There would be this little high school, a little 4A high school out in Bug Tussle that has the first high school dome stadium in the world. It would be the Parker Dome, and it would be glorious. And I wouldn't donate a scoreboard, you cheapo, Al. I want one of those whole screens. It's like the eyeball or whatever in Vegas. That's our scoreboard now. That's what's going to be at the end of the Parker Dome, and the outside of the Parker Dome is just going to be one big LED wraparound, and it's going to be my fat face, or maybe we'll put Sean from the board over there, or Eric from the newsroom. Yeah, you're a much better person than I. Don't change. Be all your charitable stuff. I might do a little bit of charity or whatever, but a lot of it's just going to be focused on me.